Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to go ahead and give you some manifestation advice. I know a lot of you are manifesting SPs, so I do gear my manifestation advice based on SPs, but of course this applies to other aspects of life as well, money, career, really anything, okay? But yeah, let's start off with what really inspired this video, okay? So I just want to let you know, you guys, circumstances literally do not matter. They have never mattered. They still don't matter, okay? Things can change overnight. Honestly, things can and they do change overnight. People have become millionaires overnight because they blew up on TikTok. Their small business blew up on TikTok. Justin Bieber, he became like famous overnight, right? Like because of that YouTube video or cover or something like that. Like, why don't you think you can get your SP? You definitely can get your SP. It doesn't matter if they're stuck in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It doesn't matter if they're on another planet. You can and will manifest them. Circumstances do not matter. I talk to a lot of you. I talk to some of my clients, and they think like it's the worst thing ever. Like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna get my manifestation. My circumstances are so bad. They're with a third party. They're so deep into their relationship. They're getting serious. They're engaged. It doesn't matter. It literally does not matter, you guys. Okay, circumstances, reality, all of it is malleable. Okay, and whatever is standing between you and your person, whatever circumstance is standing between you and your person, actually isn't even between you and your person. It's between you and that ideal version of yourself. So it all comes back to self. Okay, once you really deeply truly internalize that you are the only conscious creator in your reality, and everything that's happening is a manifestation of your consciousness, where you're at, your dominant beliefs, your thoughts, you don't take things personally. You literally laugh and you're just like, wow, like I'm the one creating all this, like no point being mad at my SP or anyone else, right? And the most liberating part of all this is to understand that if you created it, you can solve it. Okay, you just have to think from a different level of mind. You have to think from a different consciousness. You have to literally just not give up on yourself. You're not doing this to manifest your SP, your goal, dreams, desires. You're doing this to manifest the version of yourself that gets what you want. This is all about you. This journey is about you understanding you. It's not about your SP. It's not about that material thing that you want, that job, whatever. Okay, and I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh yeah, you should just fulfill yourself and be happy without these things. Like, I understand we're 3D people. We want things in the 3D. Yes, and I completely understand that. Of course, I will say though, like, don't think that you can't live without them or anyone else. Okay, you were fine before you met them. You were fine before you had that job. You were fine. Like, if you're here right now, you've been fine. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be all right. Okay, but I will say it's okay to want things in the 3D. It's okay to want things to materialize. But here's the thing. You have to really understand that like the only person that's going to give that is you. You don't need to manipulate the 3D. If you reacted, if you used to do that, that's okay. You haven't ruined your manifestation. Okay, you're still going to get what you want. I know I was on a call with a client recently, and she was telling me about how she feels like she really messed it up. She's the one that sort of kind of blew up at SP. She reacted. She's been manifesting and affirming and doing all of these things again and again, like just repetition, right? Like, she was robotic affirming, she was doing everything, and things were going fine. She was getting movement, but like something happened. Like, a third party appeared, which, by the way, that third party disappeared so fast. And she actually like emailed me saying like, I don't even know what I was worried about. Like, I'm actually laughing it off. I know my manifestation is next. It wasn't even really a third party. It was just like, I think it was like some misconception or something. She's just like, wait, like this makes no sense. Or like the third party ended up like having a boyfriend. It was like something that she saw on social media that like in her mind she's just like, oh my gosh, like I cannot believe this happening. And it didn't really even end up being a third party, or at least there wasn't a third party that was a threat. But like she told me like how she like blew up at her SP, like reacted, and like they technically weren't even dating, but like she did say something like mean to him. And listen, if you do something, if you mess up in your reality, and trust, like I've been there too, okay, and it's okay. We're human. We make mistakes. As long as like you don't keep doing that, it's okay that you made a mistake. It's okay that you had a fight. Again, it happens. Sometimes we reach our breaking point. If you said something mean, that's okay. You can just revise it. Okay, anything that your SP said or did that you didn't like, you can revise. Anything you said or did you didn't like, you can revise. And that's not manipulation. That's not like anything bad at all. You're just selecting a different timeline where that thing didn't happen. Okay, where you didn't say that mean thing, where they didn't say that mean thing, where they didn't do that thing, where you didn't do that thing, where SP only has a very good version of you in their head. Like, they only think of all the positive things that you are, that you've said, that you've embodied, reality that, you know, yeah, that they only think of you in a very, very positive manner. That's the only reality that exists. That's the only reality that you have to, like, you know, care about at the end of the day, okay? And yeah, again, it's, there's nothing wrong if you want to, like, just say like, nope, that never happened, nope, that never happened, like in your mind, like, you know, sometimes how we think of like certain things that we did in the past and like we cringe at it, it's okay, it is completely okay to say, nope, that actually never happened, I never said that, okay? I know it sounds a little bit like gaslighting, but sometimes, you know, you got to gaslight yourself in a positive way, okay? Like, I know gaslight has like a negative connotation, I'm not using it in that sense, but it's just like, you know, a lot of the times we do, you know, subconsciously like gaslight ourselves in a bad way, like, you know, we do really well but we think we didn't do well, right? So like we can gaslight ourselves the other way, like, no, that never happened, no, I've actually always been like the best version of myself, I've always, you know, I've always manifested good things, I've only ever done good things. You know, you can, for those of you that believe in karma, you can even just say like, no, I never made that mistake. And like that's the thing, you guys, like I actually do feel like, you know, manifestation is like, it's a one size fits all type of solution. Like, even if like you feel like you did something negative in your life, you feel like you hurt someone in the past, if you revise that, if you say, no, I never did that, I've always been nice to this person, or, you know, even if you just say something nice about this person, like, oh, you know, I hope they, you know, deserve the best, I hope, like, you know, they're living their best life, or again, like, you can revise what you did, like, no, I never hurt this person, no, I never did this or said this to this person. You guys, like, I feel like, you know, things will change, like you will shift into a different timeline where that didn't happen and you wouldn't carry that negative karma with you if, you know, you are someone that believes in karma, and it would feel good on you psychologically as well. That's why, you know, affirming things like, I am the best version of myself, I am so amazing, you guys, I really do feel like, you know, sorts a lot that you've experienced in the past with relationships, with other people, you know, the bad things that happened to you, the bad things that, you know, you could have done to others, like, you know, mistakes, all of that. That's why, you know, self-concept really is key, because you shift to a timeline, you shift to a different version of yourself that experiences, like, you know, the most optimal timeline where you get everything you want in the best way possible, okay? And yeah, so there's nothing wrong in like revising fights, like, no, I never said that. And like, let's say you had a fight with your SP and your SP brings it up, then like, yeah, just, you know, and to their face just say, yeah, like, I'm sorry that happened, but in your mind keep revising, no, it didn't happen, no, actually you only remember the best parts of me, no, we've only ever been respectful to each other, we've only ever said nice things to and about each other, okay? So whatever happens in the 3D, you guys, you have to be detached from it, okay? Like, even a lot of people ask me this question, like, okay, if I'm manifesting someone and in my mind I'm already together with them, then what do I say in the 3D? So again, the 3D is just like your past catching up, right? Like, it's literally just like your past dominant beliefs. So I mean, in the 3D, I feel like sometimes it can be both. Like, it can be like sometimes you're in between timelines, you're like, you know, shifting to a different timeline, you're transitioning, but some of the old story is still playing out. So in the 3D, you know, just act like you would in the 3D. Like, you know, in the 3D, you wake up, you brush your teeth, you know, get dressed, go to work, this, that, right? Like, I mean, do your 3D jobs, tasks, okay? Just be normal in the 3D, just, you know, be honest, be truthful in the 3D, but in your mind, keep revising certain things, okay? Be like, no, yeah, we're together in my head. No, we've always had like the best, most peaceful relationship. No, I've always had this job. No, I've always had this and this money. I've always had, you know, the best perks, benefits, like whatever it is that you are trying to manifest, okay? But yeah, sorry, I'm always like all over the place with these videos, but my point is, you guys, there's literally nothing that you cannot reverse, that you cannot like switch or revise so that you can end up in a different, better timeline, okay? And I'm telling you guys, repetition really helps. If you need to play an affirmation tape of you saying nice things about yourself and listen to it all day long, even like, you know, maybe when you're like working, or like, you know, you could be like engaged in conversations with someone, but like, you know, have it play on like the low. Like, I know some people listen to music on the low, and like, you know, it really helps them, right? Like, you can do that as well. That is something that has personally helped me in my manifestation journey. I know I have been there. I have been where you guys have been, okay? I have spiraled. I have, like, you know, gone through it. Like, I feel like I understand manifestation like to a T at this point, and I understand how to like revise certain things and, you know, change circumstances. I have gone from like the worst imaginable circumstances ever to like manifesting my SP, to manifesting a raise, to manifesting a promotion, to manifesting good things in my life. And when I tell you they were bad, when I tell you I spiraled to hell, okay, mind my language, when I tell you, like, you know, I had those dark nights of the soul, and like I've had like those same SPs that I still wanted at the time, you know, begging for me, coming back, giving me loyalty, monogamy, having eyes for me and only me. You guys, like, I am not kidding. Like, this stuff really, really does work, and it works fast too, okay? But the repetition is important. Right now, I will say robotic affirming self-concept is the fastest way to get what you want, okay? I was a huge fan of scripting, and I still love scripting, okay? But definitely robotic affirming, because I know sometimes, you know, we're in situations where we don't have the time to, like, you know, get out a pen and paper and, like, you know, start scripting, right? But I mean, if you do have time, then of course do that. But, like, you know, just robotically affirm, like, no, I always get what I want. I always get what I want. I always get what I want. My life is perfect. My life is perfect. My life is perfect. My life is perfect. And you will naturally start acting like that person. I know for some people, they even ask, like, oh, should we take inspired action, this, that. When you affirm for self-concept, you will know the right things to say and do. You will be in that timeline. You will be getting, like, you know, like guidance from your higher self. You'll be tapped into that infinite intelligence within yourself, so you'll know exactly what to do and say for you to get your you know, manifestation in the most optimal, best way possible, okay? But honestly, robotic affirming self-concept is the fastest way to get what you want. Trust me when I say it reverses everything. And I feel like for a lot of you, I also really do want to point out that a lot of you could be in a worse state right now. I know for you know, a lot of you think like, oh my gosh, I've been manifesting so much, I've been affirming, I've been doing this, I've been doing that, like, you know, why isn't this working? Why am I not getting this thing? Why, you know, I noticed like the 3D is, you know, showing me the exact opposite. First of all, things could be a lot worse. For a lot of you, you guys, you're manifesting your SP and they aren't even married, they aren't even engaged, they are single. Like, you know, they're not even, you know, even if they're together, like with the 3P, at least they're not, like, you know, things could always be worse. Like, I have a couple of clients that are trying to manifest their SPs and they're in like a third party, and, you know, honestly, like, they're not engaged, they're not married. And even if they were, like, you know, you can manifest them out of that. I know people who've broken engagements or who've had their engagements broken just to go on and find better people and realize they were in love with their ex the entire time. And like, I know everyone in that party was happy too. Like, you know, I know we see a lot of, like, you know, drama in Hollywood. Oh my gosh, you know, these people broke up, they were divorced, this, that. But like a lot of them, like, you know, they end up finding, like, you know, someone that they like. So you have nothing, you have nothing to worry about. If you want your person, you know, you will get your person. You deserve to have your person, you know, and you deserve to be in that timeline where you're together with your person. And who knows, there's another timeline where other things are being played out. But you never have to feel bad about whatever it is that you want, as long as you're not like wishing harm on anyone. And I've never come across anyone like in the manifestation community, clients, that have like straight up wished harm on anyone, okay? Like, honestly, that's like never been a problem. But this, you know, it's so obvious, but like, don't do that. But like, my point is, like, you know, manifesting third parties, it's the easiest thing. My point is, like, things could always be worse. You know, had you not started affirming, had you not, like, you know, at least, even if you like just somewhat work on self-concept, even if you don't robotically affirm and you're not really going ham at manifestation, if you're doing like somewhat work on yourself, you guys, like, you are still making movement. There's still a lot of progress and movement happening behind the scenes. You have to trust that, okay? And the thing is, you guys, when you affirm, when you robotically affirm, when you script, when you manifest, your person starts thinking about you. They really do. I have seen tons of stories, endless stories, like countless stories of people who were in separation with their SPs, for their SPs to come back and say, yeah, you know, I thought about you like every day. I didn't reach out, but I was still thinking about you. I was still stalking your profile. And I've noticed this happen in my own life. A lot of the times when my SPs came back, they would literally say like, oh, I've been thinking about you, or, you know, I thought about you a lot, or, oh, I remember when you posted this thing. And like, you know, I didn't even think they were like looking at my posts or stories or anything, but like, they still somehow found out, okay? Your SPs really do think about you, no matter how long it's been since you've talked, you're in separation, things ended badly, it does not matter. They always come back. They always come back. It doesn't even matter if you weren't even in a relationship, or like you barely even got started and you only went on one date with them and like things ended up going bad and you still want them. Like, they still come back. They still think of you. They're thinking of you right now, okay? So I would even say, like, you know, when you affirm, I know a lot of you feel unmotivated because you're like, oh, I haven't seen movement, this, that, but there is always movement, always movement, okay? they do start thinking about you, they do start dreaming about you, they do start like, you know, seeing signs about you, seeing your name. Like I've heard all kinds of stories, but you know, if you ever feel down, like, okay, you know, I'm not seeing any movement, this, that, you have to understand that like the minute you start affirming, even if you do like a 10-minute affirmation session, they will have thought about you. Okay. You cannot fail the law, you guys. A lot of you are special. I feel like you're exceptional people, but you are not an exception to a universal law. You just are not. Okay. Even if you believe in the law of attraction, law of assumption, you know, still precedes everything. I don't know if that's the right word, but like my point is, like, even if you believe in the law of attraction, it's your assumption that you're believing in the law of attraction. If you believe in whatever it is that you believe in, if you believe in synchronicities, if you believe in like superstitions, whatever, it's how deeply your assumption towards that thing is. So for a lot of you, you know, I've noticed that you need to change your assumptions about certain things. I would say, you know, take some time to like script or, you know, write down. I really, okay, that's the same thing, but I really like scripting to kind of like change my assumptions about like other things. So for example, you know, I would script, like, I'm, you know, a woman who likes men, and I have, you know, gone through my fair share of like, you know, bad relationships in the past, although I'm trying to revise that. But for the purposes of this video, I just want to let you know that I would like literally write down men are good, men are loyal, men are faithful. And I've seen that happen. I've seen like, you know, instances where like, you know, men are good, men are loyal, men are faithful, they're not weird, they're not creepy. You know, I've seen that happen. I've seen men reflect that back to me. I've like, you know, even experienced meeting like, you know, higher quality men. I've like my dating, you know, just honestly, I will say I went from dating like scumbag losers, I'm sorry to say that, to like, you know, good, like, you know, good quality, like high value men. Okay. So I mean, if I can do that, you can do that as well. You know, same with women. If you're into women, write down women are good, women are nice, women, you know, always choose me. You know, any sort of beliefs that you have, but like whatever you do, like don't hate on them. Stop saying all men are trash, stop saying all women are trash, this, that. Okay. If you see a video, you gotta like just swipe past that, because like, you know, I'm on TikTok, I'm on social media, and I see these videos, and you know, as entertaining as they are to watch sometimes, like to hear people's stories, I'm just like, I don't want to internalize that, because I, you know, I don't think men are trash. I don't want to believe that. I want to be in a good, happy relationship, and that's what you have to do as well. Same thing with money. For a lot of you, you're just like, oh, you know, capitalism, this, that, whatever. You know, just affirm for yourself to be financially stable, and you will find something that you like, that is, you know, ethical, moral, you know, whatever it is that you want, and you will be financially stable. You don't have to like, you know, work for anything or anyone that you don't want to. But if you keep saying like money is the root cause of all problems, yet you're trying to manifest money, you're trying to manifest financial stability, your brain gets confused, your subconscious mind gets confused. Okay. And it's already in the midst of carrying out your manifestation. Okay, do not underestimate your own infinite intelligence. Every single person has that. It does not matter what your IQ is, it does not matter what school you went to, Ivy League, community college, it doesn't matter. Everyone has infinite intelligence, and everyone is capable of tapping into it completely. Okay, some people are tapped to other aspects of their infinite intelligence. Some people, you know, they thrive in like, you know, work, all of that, but maybe like, you know, when it comes to emotional intelligence, when it comes to like, you know, love, like, you know, they're lacking. But there's nothing that you can't excel at. There's nothing that you can't revise. There's nothing that you can't, you know, transcend the limits of. Okay, so you have to understand, you guys, everything is you. You are the only conscious creator in your reality. And if you are affirming, do not give up, because, you know, right now, if you're affirming for a job, like, you know, there could be people that are looking at your like resume as you're watching this video. You know, you're affirming for your SP, they're thinking about you right now. Maybe they just saw your name, or they heard like a song that reminded them of you, or something that reminded them of you. Okay, but my point is, you know, you cannot give up, not necessarily on your desires or your SP, but on yourself getting the thing that you want. Okay, so anyways, let me go ahead and talk about these cards. I let go of the past, I dwell in the present moment, and I'm able to create and live in my desired reality. Okay, so that's the thing. Let go of the past, let go of the past assumptions, let go of the past that you even have with your SP. Stop replaying those events. Stop trying to figure out, like, you know, I know you try to think of like timings and dates, this happened when, that happened then. Okay, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. You have to give your person a chance to, like, you know, prove themselves to you and be better, and, you know, show up as the best version of themselves. Okay, I know it can be hard, but like the more you do that, the more you sort of cut yourself off when you're in that, you know, frame of thinking. Like the more, like, you gotta think of like something to say at that moment, so you're just like, okay, I don't want to do this, and you weaken that neural pathway that's associated with you doing the stalking, the social media stalking, the checking, the trying to figure out dates, the trying to do, you know, all the math, like, oh, we met up this, then that, what happened. Okay, like literally, like, just think of a word. It doesn't even have to be an affirmation like coffee, or like money or like cards or something like that. Like, you know, just cut yourself off. So when you do that, you weaken that neural pathway. I know for a lot of you, I give this example a lot. Like, you know, you probably can't remember what you learned in calculus. You probably don't remember what you learned in, like, you know, algebra 2 or something like that, right? Like all the math, right? Because your you know, your neural pathways associated with that, you know, stream of learning is like weakened because you haven't been practicing it. But like, you know, if you keep practicing, stalking your SP social media, thinking of all the bad things that they've done, or like, you know, that transpired in this connection, or like they did this, they did that, they weren't being, you know, they were doing something that upset you guys, then like your brain is going to show you more evidence of that. So you really have to stop. And I would say, like, you know, until you get your end goal, your manifestation, you know, the thing about like stalking social media, like I'm like always on the fence about that. I would say, like, as much as you can, don't. Okay, I mean, if you're doing it every day, like, just start off by not looking at it for a day, then 2 days and 3 days, and you get used to it. And you guys, like, I'm telling you, you know, it doesn't matter what happens in the middle. The bridge of incidents literally does not matter. If you want your SP, and like, you know, there's certain things that you're not seeing that's happening on their social media, it's like it didn't even happen. Okay, and like, trust me, in my own life, you know, there was an SP that I was manifesting, and I saw that he was adding, like, you know, a lot of girls on social media, and like he literally like unfollowed like all of them, or like, you know, they unfollowed him, he unfollowed that. Like, seriously, like, none of this stuff really matters. And turns out, like, he, like, all he did was, like, you know, go on like 1 or 2 dates, and he was thinking of me the entire time, and he didn't even, like, you know, get physical or intimate with them. Okay, it literally does not matter. Okay, I know our brains can like associate certain things, like, oh, you know, they added this, they probably went out with them, this, that. Like, I mean, oh my gosh, it doesn't matter, you guys. Like, even if they are going on dates with other people, or they're with the third party, they're thinking of you the entire time. Okay, if they weren't, they'd be married by now. But for a lot of you, they're not. Okay, so, or, you know, like, for a lot of you, I know some people are even manifesting like they're married SP. You know, it can, anything can change, anything can happen. Divorces, separations, breakups happen all the time. Okay, so I mean, I know that sounds bad, but like, if you really understand manifestation, you understand that, like, you know, you're just selecting a different version of them, you're selecting a different timeline where you are with them, and there's absolutely nothing wrong in doing that. Okay, yeah, so okay, the next affirmation I want to talk about is: the partner that I seek is also seeking me. What I desire desires me a million times more. Okay, you have to understand, you guys, like, the reason, you know, you're even manifesting this is because that thing wants it to manifest you. Okay, and like, this is, okay, again, you're the only conscious thinker, creator in your reality. So I mean, if you don't want to think this way, that's okay. But my point is, like, there is a reason why you're drawn to this. Okay, and I do feel like, you know, energy is real. Like, I'm a spiritual person, and, you know, I try to separate, like, you know, spirituality and law of assumption, although sometimes they do go hand in hand. I really feel like, you know, if you really cannot get over someone, like, there is, like, they're probably thinking of you, or like, you should have that assumption. That's an assumption that I have, and like, for the most part, I found it to be true. Okay, like, you know, I would think of someone, and then, like, you know, like, maybe I'd post like a story or something, and I think of them, and they just end up like watching my story, like, you know, right after. Okay, so I mean, thought transmission is real. It is real. Okay, and the thing is, I know some of you are going to be like, okay, well, why doesn't this happen with my SP, this, that? So I mean, you already know the answer. It's because of resistance. But persistence kills resistance. You just have to persist. Robotically affirm self-concept affirmations about how you're loved, how you're prioritized, how you're chosen. Even if you were just to say, I'm loved, I'm prioritized, I'm chosen. Okay, I'm loved, I'm prioritized, I'm chosen. Say that again and 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 again. You guys, like, things would shift, things would move. Honestly, I don't like giving timings, but I have seen, like, you know, most things happen in like 3 weeks. Okay, I've seen things shift, things completely move. You know, like, 3 weeks is, like, I think, like, the most it took for me to like see movement. For me, like, you know, it would take a couple months for me to get my full manifestation, but it's never taken like years. Okay, so I know some people they're at this for years. I don't know what it is that they're doing, but it should not take years for you to get an SP, for you to get a job. Okay, yeah, I feel like this could have something to do with like their own personal resistance, maybe, you know, their assumptions about the law, like, or how deeply they believe in the law, or their own manifestation ability. So I would even say, you know, take some time to affirm for your manifestation abilities. I get what I want, I get what I want, I get what I want. It's that easy. You know, you don't have to like say these long-winded affirmations, or, you know, I believe in the law. The law is perfect, it always works. And it's true, you guys. Honestly, even if you don't 100% believe in it, like, the law is the law. Like, it just, like, you know, it works for everyone. It is a universal law. I would say, like, you know, the law works like better than even some other things. Like, you know, I was gonna say, like, we all need food and water to survive, but I know there's like monks out there, you know, very like enlightened people that don't even like eat. that don't even drink. Like, they drive fast and they're still alive. And I'm not saying do that. Okay? I'm not by any means saying that. But my point is, like, you know, the thing that is working though is this spiritual law. Like, they were able to transcend their like need or desire for food just because of their belief in the law. Okay, so that's definitely something that you have to understand. Okay, it's you have to understand that if whatever you create, you can uncreate it. Nothing is, you know, nothing is unsolvable, nothing is set in stone. Okay, whatever you want to be set in stone will be set in stone. You and your SP will be together forever. You'll be in that job for however long you want to be in that job for. You'll be a millionaire forever. Okay, but you have to understand that there's always a different timeline available. I know I've gotten some questions, or like, you know, I've seen some questions about like, okay, well, you know, when my SP and I were in separation, we're together, you know, they dated other people. So just revise that. No, they didn't date other people. They didn't get intimate with other people. And you will step into that timeline where that never happened. Okay, so I mean, yeah, I'm just saying, like, it happens. Anything that's upsetting you, you just need to revise that. Okay, anytime that thought comes up, oh my gosh, they're dating other people. No, they're not. They never dated other people. They were into you. Maybe they went on dates. You guys, I will just say, you know, it's okay. It's okay if your SP went on dates. That doesn't mean anything, okay? You could have, like, imagine, like, you know, you've gone on dates with people that you didn't even like, that you realize you weren't even attracted to, or maybe, like, you ghosted or blocked right after, okay? Going on dates doesn't mean anything, okay? So, I mean, social media following, none of that. It's all an illusion. It really is, okay? The 3D is an illusion. Social media is even more of an illusion, okay? And I know because I've been there. I've seen things, like, you know, happen and change with my own eyes. I've seen people delete their entire accounts. Okay, I've seen people like unfollow whoever they needed to unfollow. I've seen, like, you know, I've seen things change and move fast. Okay, but the thing is, you have to persist. You have to persist. Persistence kills resistance. And you really, really, really got to assume good things about your person, about the gender that you're trying to manifest, about the economy, about money, this, that. Okay, like, I mean, even in the economy, like, you guys, during like the worst times of the economy, I've always still had my job. I still have my job. I'm gonna have my job. I'm not even gonna say knock on wood, because that's how deeply I believe in myself. That's how deep my conviction is. Okay, because I never like sat here complaining about, oh, the economy sucks, this, that, the job market is tough, this, that. No, in fact, whenever I would see people complain about it, in my mind, I'd just be like, no, you have your perfect job. No, you got a job. No, the economy's perfect. No, you know, and like, I would also do my part to, like, you know, give people referrals and help. I feel like that also sort of, like, you know, helped me kind of, you know, stay in alignment, in tune with, you know, my conviction that, like, the economy is amazing. And yeah, you know, I feel like, you know, doing good things, it helps you. It helps you, you know, just do your best, be the best version of yourself. And you know, the whole thing I said about revision, it works. Okay, like, if you made a mistake, if you had an argument, whatever, just revise it. No, you didn't. You've always been respectful to your SP. They've always been respectful to you. They never said that. They've always been in love with you. Doesn't matter if they blocked you. Doesn't matter if they say that they never want to talk to you again, they're not into you. Yes, they do. No, they didn't block you, or they're gonna unblock you. They've always been head over heels in love with you. I know I've had to block certain people, or, you know, remove certain people, even though I was still into them, just because I was getting triggered by the 3D. So you never know what's going on with your SP, okay? So just because they said something in one timeline doesn't mean like that's the timeline that you have to be on for the rest of your life. You can shift timelines. And, you know, when I say shift timelines, it's not some like weird, like, you know, insane, like, esoteric thing where you have to, like, you know, go vegan or fast or do like any of these crazy things. No, you just have to think different thoughts. You have to select a different version of them, think different thoughts, and persist in those thoughts. The more you persist, you guys, like, the faster you get it. Okay, and I know I've said that so many times, I sound like a broken record, but, you know, sometimes I will tell you that, you know, when I've persisted, I would get bad dreams. I would, like, you know, sometimes, like, the old story would still pop up, but that's a good sign. That means it's purging out. Like, you know, a lot of the times when you do find yourself thinking about that, you have to think from the perspective of, oh, that's just purging out. Well, oh, okay, that was some other timeline. I don't remember that timeline. That seems like, you know, a story or like a movie or something like that. You know, it just seems like so fictional. It seems so blurred to me. And that's the thing, you guys, when you, like, affirm good things about your manifestation, about your SP, the timeline where those bad things happen, it becomes blurred. Your memory and perception of it becomes blurred. You're like, wait, I actually don't remember that at all. Okay, and like, that's a good thing. Okay, that means, like, you know, you're shifting into that new state, that new version of yourself. There are a lot of things that, you know, I don't remember in the past about, like, you know, like, negative things that have happened to me, because I feel like I've completely blocked it out, because I'm just like, yeah, well, I don't want this, so, like, you know, I don't even remember it, or like, it just doesn't faze me. It just doesn't affect me anymore, because, you know, when you and your SP get together and they're supporting you and they're celebrating all your birthdays and they're being the best version version of themselves. They're caring for you, they're providing for you, they're being that best boyfriend or girlfriend or partner, husband, wife, whatever. You're not going to be worried about this time that you're spending manifesting them, okay? So have fun, live your best life, okay? Something again that has really helped me and kept me sane is playing affirmation tapes, okay? Like literally just, you know, put on your headphones, okay? Ear pods, AirPods, whatever it is, you know, put the volume on low and just go around the city, go around, you know, your life, doing whatever it is that you do, and just like have that play in the background. It calms you down so much, okay? And in your own voice, record affirmation tapes in your own voice. That's something that I found helps a lot, okay? Even if you're talking to friends, definitely be in the moment, be in the present moment, but you know, having that play in the background, just again on low volume, you know, it works so well, okay? I was able to like personally shift things like in 3 days and see like movement in 3 days, just listening to affirmation tapes all day long. And I've seen like people actually in my Patreon group also comment how like, you know, they've had their SPs reflect back everything to them, like, you know, verbatim, after listening to, you know, affirmation tapes, okay? And speaking of that, there's a self-concept challenge going on my Patreon where I give you self-concept affirmations to affirm in order to get and manifest your SP for good. And then we also simultaneously have a science challenge going on where we get together as a group and collectively manifest for each other. So we use the group's manifestation, you know, like the collective power of the group to amplify and accelerate our individual manifestation. So if you're interested in that, just, you know, check out the link in the description box below, patreon.com/enchantedforestfairy444. And I also post like, you know, motivational posts that, you know, will remind you to keep manifesting and keep going. So again, if you're interested in that, do check that out. I also offer in-depth tarot readings as well as manifestation coaching, and I also custom make Subliminal. So if you are interested in any of these services, check out the description box below where you will find my website and sign up for those services through my website. And yeah, I will end the video right here. Thank you so much.